And hello and welcome to this episode of Fixing Up My Computer. So I got a brand new Corsair power pack because I'm going to be also upgrading my graphics card. So as you can see over here, I unplugged everything from my computer, including the little, hard drive that I have over here. And yeah, if you don't know about this one, it was featured in the episode of replacing my CPU. So yeah, that's it's slightly screwed, but it's going to be a big help when we're going to have to actually replace the graphics drives. So that's for later. I got my screws over here all ready and yeah, prepared. And then here's everything else over here that I just unplugged. So the whole point of this will be that I'm going to have to basically take this metal plate in the back out. I'm going to have to undo all the wires. I'm going to have to get rid of everything that's plugged in, so I'm kind of using this video as well as a guide on where everything used to be plugged in. I'm also going to have to make one off the back as well once I remove the metal plate. And I'm going to put this power pack in. I did have the idea of, while I was replacing the power pack, I could also replace the GPU. But then when I thought about it more in depth, I was kind of like, that's probably not a good idea. So the plan is to replace first the power pack and then I can do a GPU swap out. That's what I'm going to be doing. And there is just barely enough space between where this is to here. So if I were to draw a straight line, the actual DDR4 memory should not get in the way of replacing the new GPU because it is quite a bit bigger. But we'll have to see. It's obviously a very old computer that I don't clean enough, so I'm also going to have to get that done. So I'll see you in a bit then. So yeah, this is 7 years of dust build-up in the computer. I've had this computer for 7 years. I haven't really cleaned it all that much since then, when I got it first. Yeah, this middle fan in particular, it has a tendency to start buzzing, so I might need to replace the middle fan because it keeps Right then, so this is the back of the case. Remember this? Me in the future, but also the viewers, I guess, if you want to help me out. In case this doesn't work and I just upload a video that's poorly edited and I don't know why. So, gotta remember all of this. Gotta remember what's happening down here with the hard drive that I have, I guess. I think that's a hard drive, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. Anyway, right then, time to unplug everything. But first I probably should clean it up, shouldn't I? Yeah, maybe I should do this by looking at the wires that come off of the actual power bank rather than just by guessing. So there's this really big thick one and it goes all the way around and it plugs into the motherboard. So this is what I'm going to be pulling out next. Okay, right, I unplugged this big one and now I'm going to be unplugging the CPU power. Now then, yeah, basically I unplugged the CPU. This is where the cable was, going all the way down. Now I have to unplug this one down here, the multicolored wire, so we'll see how that goes. Right then, so that's part 1 unplugged. Now to unplug part 2 as well. I don't know if I should be doing this with the other wire so close, but here we go, that's unplugged fully now. So there's a bunch of these RGB connections down there, and I'm basically I can't take them out without actually having to take out the entire power supply. So I'll do that first, and I'll try to disconnect these. It's very difficult to do it right now. Actually, I might be able to do it without having to take the power supply out. So I'll be back in a bit when I can disconnect all of them. Actually, you know what? That could have also been the fans for the front of the case. So that wasn't just, this wasn't just for the RGB lights. It was also for the fans, I think. Right, then I disconnected all the fans then. We'll see how we go from here because these Phillips screw holes are really difficult for me to actually to basically unscrew. It's finding it very difficult with this little thing over here. So I'm basically going to have to come back to you whenever I come back. Might come back after a failure, but hopefully I can succeed in this endeavour. And these screws are really difficult to remove. So yeah, I've been trying to remove them with a small screwdriver, that didn't work. So here I am trying with this one. I tried with the other one as well, and it's still very difficult to remove them. I don't know why anyone would make screws like this, because they just make you kind of loose. Yeah, very difficult to make them loose. They make you go kind of crazy while you try to remove them. So yeah, I've basically been trying to remove these four, and they're just not coming off. They're really not coming off. Whoever made these screws should give themselves a pat on the back, because I feel like the entire case is going to be destroyed before I remove these screws. Right then, so I guess I'll see you later whenever I'm either done with the screws or when I'm completely insane. So this is probably the best screwdriver for the job, as you can see. It actually fits in just perfectly, but the problem is there's almost no handle to this thing. So basically it's really difficult to actually undo these screws over here. I'm not joking, I think PC Specialist got an actual fucking gorilla to actually tie these screws, because there's no way I can untie them. It's even more difficult than when I had to untie the screws for the fan on the CPU. That also gave me some trouble, but at least it was doable. Like, these aren't even moving, they're just full on stuck like this. There's nothing I can do to actually fix them. This is ridiculous. Well, so I was able to get rid of one of the screws using this device. So yeah, I got some pliers, and I had to basically pick up the screwdriver like this, and then I basically turn it until the screws start moving. And then when the screw does in fact start moving, I can then, just manually unscrew it. But until then, I need both hands on the pliers, turning the screwdriver until this screw does a couple turns first, and then I can manually unscrew it. But yeah, wow, was that a challenge to do. Even one screw, and I got 3 more left to go. If I'm not dead by the end of this, I'm going to wish I was, because this is so difficult and unnecessarily complicated because of how tightly the screws are wound. But yeah, I'll be back later when everything is done. Oh boy, was that unnecessarily difficult. But here it is. Here's the power supply. I'm going to give it a quick clean. I don't know if anyone wants it. Might put it up on eBay or something, I don't know. But yeah, there's the power supply. And then I'm going to basically clean out the rest of this case as much as I can. Because it's very messy, isn't it? I haven't had a deep clean in a long time. I didn't really need to either. I'm surprised it's still working in this condition with so much, muck everywhere. I'm surprised. These PCs were definitely built to last. PC Specialist definitely knew what they were doing when they built these, considering how difficult it was to unscrew it. So yeah, they definitely built it to last. And I'm very happy that it does last, because that is what I paid my money for. This is what the bottom of the intake looks like. So dusty, I need to give it a proper clean. And now I'm going to install the new power supply, and then I'll see you. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? I'm going to put this off to the side for now, because I don't really need the plug right now. So this is what I will need. I will need to set this up in such a way that I can easily access this. Here's some more screws, I guess. Yeah, for the power supply. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Right then. This is really difficult, so I am going to have to stop recording now. Right then, so I got the screws in. It was a lot easier to screw in than it was to unscrew it. So yeah, now I just have to connect all of this up. I'm not going to really show that, because I'm pretty sure that people already know what that looks like. And I'm also going to kind of, I guess, attach the wires up to the brackets on the case, I guess, as well. I'm going to do that while I'm at it with the zip ties that I bought. So yeah, here it is. Here are the zip ties, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'll see you when I basically am complete. Now then, so as you can see, everything's connected roughly how it was before. I really hope that I didn't forget anything, but this is how it looks now. I mean, I did skip a few corners, like this bracket over here, you know, completely missed it. It was for this wire, but I'm not going to be moving that now. But this one, it came out quite well. As you can see, it goes all the way up top and then it connects around the other side. I also put a wire through this hole over here for the new GPU, which I'm going to be attaching later. And as you can see, there it is up there, that I have the pin connecting to the motherboard for the CPU. So yeah, right then, I guess I'll be back once everything is set and the computer is hopefully running. It's alive! It's alive! It's all working! Wow, look at that. Everything's working again. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. I can't believe I connected everything correctly. Now to replace the GPU, which requires a GPU update, I think, and then I have to, while I do that, I also have to put in safe mode, I guess the motherboard or whatever. I have to switch the entire computer on to safe mode, and then I have to upgrade the GPU, swap out the GPU, unscrew obviously a bunch of stuff while it's happening. We'll have to see. I need to watch another video on how to do it, and then I'll be back with a more detailed plan. Right then, so I'm basically using this video as a guide for installing the, I guess, BIOS update for the GPU. We'll see how that works. So as you can see, I got DDU on here and everything like that, so I'm going to be following this video to download that, and then I'll see you after that, if everything works out. Right then, so I'm still following the video, as you can see, so the TV's turned on, but I actually switched off the PC, both in the back and also on the plug socket, so it's no longer connected. But now let's open up this brand new graphics card. A 3050, 8GB, the best 1080p experience that you can have. Well, unless you severely, you know, get like an upgraded graphics card, something like a 4090, and you know, you use that for only 1080p gaming. But this is the best 1080p graphics card. Well, as I've said, unless you go way overboard and just decide to downgrade yourself. So here we go. Absolutely wonderful. I'm going to unpack this. I'm going to basically go over here. I'm going to unscrew this. I'm going to try to fit the graphics card in, and then I'm basically going to start it up again, and then going to continue watching the video while it tells me what to do. So yeah, as you can see, this is quite an old graphics card. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's like very, very old. 7 years old at this point, and even then it was quite old back then as well. So right then, I really don't want to be recording while doing this because I don't want to mess this up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The gorillas are at it again at the PC specialist. These screws were absolutely nightmarish to remove as well. Luckily, I learned from last time while doing the power pack. So here we are. This is my strategy. Get the pliers, grip the, I guess, screwdriver, and just twist it little by little until basically the screw comes out. And I needed to do 2 of these. The first one was easier than the second one. The second one took a lot of force to remove, but here we are. Right then, I'll basically get this out, and then I'll install the new one, and then I'll continue talking and rambling, I guess. Right then, there we have it. I fully installed this. It was slightly more difficult to do this bit with the screws, but I got it done. It took some work to wrangle the card out of the actual slot, but I did it, and this is what I have. I don't know if this is supposed to be broken here. I might have broken that, or it might be still left inside. Oh dear. Right then, I'll see you later as well. So yeah, I'm not really going to clean this old GPU because, you know, it's old and I don't want to mistake it for a new one. But while I'm here, I also forgot to do this. I got to plug this in. So I'll do that, and then I'll basically continue with the, I guess, installation process for the GPU hard drives, and then I'll see you with a working GPU, hopefully. Wow, I've come a long way. From struggling with the power pack to struggling with the bolts on the GPU. Some things never change, but other things like, yeah, wrangling this inside of the computer case and, you know, fitting this in, you know, it's truly is an experience. A beautiful, beautiful experience. Right then, everything is being downloaded. Big thanks to Damn Clam, for basically expanding on the finalizing installation process, because the other video did not show it all that much. And big thanks to the pliers that rescued me against all the terrible, terrible screws in my PC case. Screw you, 1, 2, and then 4 on there, down on there, yeah, attached to the power pack. Screw those 4, screw these 2, but big thanks to the pliers. Pliers came in really handy. I would recommend you get some pliers for yourself. This is not an advert, but you should get some pliers. That's all I'm going to say. Right then, big thanks to Dan Cam Knows Everything. That was a really helpful ending tutorial there for me. All the tutorials will be down in the description down below as, you know, as references and properly, you know, thanking those people. So it's the least I can do. And everything has been connected over here. As you can see, I just got some extra bits that are dangling off, but that's no big issue. And everything works, I guess. Wow, phenomenal. I especially like PC specialists. I might have joked about them having gorilla hands for, you know, the screws. But you know, for the most part, the entire PC is very well structured, very easy to understand where everything goes. It's, you know, very clean, and it's very easy for me to then go and replace pieces of it, as I did with the CPU and as I did with the power pack and GPU right now. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and if you need any help, maybe the videos down in the description below will be able to give you the necessary advice. That's it. Bye bye.